Hello everyone. Captain Happy here after a very long break. I had to be doing a whole bunch of stuff that kind of threw making videos to the bottom of the priority pile, so apologies for that. I have been playing some ships and having fun with my new clan and everything, and I had a game today that after many choices as far as, well, should I post this replay, should I not? This one definitely I couldn't resist. So what you will see is a random battle in my Queen Elizabeth. And full disclosure, I am not a fan. And, this is a common thing that happens with mid and lower tier ships. You don't get as many perks as the ships you're probably ultimately grinding to. Some of them are a bit of a slog, and this ship is definitely one of those, at least in my book. I've had a real difficult time making it work. It does not yet get the British battleship super heal. The HE is potent. As you'll see in this match, I think it's probably about 70 or 80% of my salvos are using the HE, but I mostly found it a very meh battleship, very average, kind of slow, not exactly that maneuverable. So I've spent my time grinding a bunch of other lines instead. Today I decided, well, let's take her out and see what she can do. And boy oh boy, was this at times tense, but very often fun, at least for me, and funny battle. You can see right from the get-go on this map and in this battle mode, I see the way our team is breaking off. And not that that's necessarily that bad, but I do point out pretty early on in chat that it would be a good idea to not completely abandon the Capt. Noticing 4 DDs on each side, it seems probable to me that a DD might make a run straight through the middle, especially considering when the enemy team sees our makeup, and obviously we'll see theirs, they will see that there are very few ships defending the Capt. And right here, I get spotted up the middle, and I quickly ping the map. Because though there is a chance I could be being spotted from another direction, I have my spidey sense with the DD shooting through the middle for the Capt. So I kind of figure he's straight on right there. And I have it more or less confirmed at that point when I go undetected that, yep, he was probably coming through the middle and spotted me for that brief few seconds. And once I put the island between him and me, I dropped off detection. So as we go on here, again, looking at the minimap, I can kind of see that, well, okay, if there is going to be a rush coming to our Capt, most of the enemy destroyers, and I think at this point 3 of them had been spotted, have gone to either flank. So if there's one to worry about, it should only be one, and boy oh boy, it gives you that sinking feeling when in the first couple minutes of a battle you drop by 2 ships that early. And I again made note of it in chat with a little bit of a sigh, and honestly most of my battles in this ship kinda go that way, so this wasn't exactly a shock to me. But considering the rest of my team pushed out to either flank, said, well, I guess I might as well sit here and defend. Right here, you see an enemy ship pop up. It's the German cruiser, and wow, does he take a hit. But I thought for a second it could be him that spotted me early, and nope, the Icarus pops up right on the other side of the island. So my spidey sense had been confirmed. Now, right here, get a nice first salvo on him. Set a couple of fires, my secondaries start punching him up a little bit, and as you should, he immediately hits the brakes and pops smoke. I get a little fortunate here, because he's able to see me and continue firing from smoke, but the second that really happens, the enemy cruiser that was beyond him and that was keeping me spotted goes down. So I drop off detection, and I had hit my brakes. I knew torps were coming, and well, I guess I'll give myself some credit for that dodge, but there was definitely some fortune involved there. Knowing now that those were both sets of torps, he won't have another set for quite a while, I feel it completely safe to put on some steam and start turning my side to get all 4 guns facing. Get a little unlucky with that first salvo, but certainly do a fair deal with the front 2 guns, I should say. The back 2 guns completely whiffed, which again is something I'm getting used to, and you should already be used to with the low tier battleships. But I have no fear now showing my complete side to him. I know he will not have torps up again, and I'm hoping he repaired that fire, that I have enough time to get back guns, forward guns, and I do some good damage and set another fire that he cannot repair. So at this point it's a countdown until I get my first kill of the match. Now, if you've been paying attention to other happenings, we're in a pretty bad way already. Not quite down 2-to-1 in ships, but it's getting close. And here, I almost put a graphic up, but since I'm adding audio, I'll just say it out loud. This is my first of a couple JBs in this match. And not that one. Yeah, there we go. So, for those few of you who might be watching this video, I'm sure most of you watching will actually understand that reference. And to be fair to myself, the second one that comes along, it's based on damage done, and it's not really a steal, but you'll see when it comes up. So at this point, Capt defended. The DD is taken down. The Scharnhorst that was pushing hard got taken down. But our left flank is still in a bit of trouble. We've got an enemy DD hunting down our Nagato, and it doesn't look like, I think that's our King George, is long for this world, especially facing a near full health Nelson. What I see on the minimap is where the Bliskovitska last was. And I want to pop out and surprise him. I know he had about a third health left, and one good salvo, if I can surprise him, will be enough to take him down. And as I come around the corner, now I end up with some issues to my right. There's an Omaha and the Frenchie destroyer that's over there, but I figure that they're more or less occupied at this moment. So there's not a total amount of fear. So I get spotted. I'm hoping it's the Bliskovitska. Come on. Dang it. Alright. So I don't have a shot at him, but I immediately ping the map as he's clearly making a run for our Capt. And with any luck, we'll have someone who can focus him down. But with my inability to shoot at him, I decide, alright, well, next biggest threat to me is going to be, yep, American cruiser right there. Still got HE loaded. Now, set a fire, do decent damage. It's not terrible, but I am very, very mindful here of the torpedoes. Now, I can't remember offhand if they're 5.5 kilometer or 6 kilometer torps, but I slam on my brakes right here in case he got one set off. But the island in front of me kind of eliminated his angle. And wow, can't say I hate when you get an HE Citadel for a kill. I'm still a little worried that he got his torpedoes off at me though. So I'm reluctant, little tentative, but once we get a few seconds in here, I realize he didn't have time to do it. So I pour on the steam again and reassess the map. Now the Bliskovitska and the Nelson are still pushing from the left. And Frenchie, I was kind of hoping he would be popping out south in front of me here. But he seems to have retreated a little bit into that really thin channel there in the east. So it doesn't look like I'll have a shot at him. So I decide to swing the guns back around to the other side, because we're going to have to worry about this Bliska and the Nelson that are pushing our Capt. Numbers-wise, though, well, not exactly even, but we are within one ship. Okay, I take that back. We are within 2 ships. And at this point, our Congo does something which ultimately, as far as the game goes, turns out to be exactly the right decision. Well, 2 very, very good decisions on his part. First one, and I know I swing the camera away, so I miss the kill, but he decides to focus his guns first on the Bliska. And right there he gets it. At this point, I turn around and I notice Frenchie sitting there. So, I don't know, maybe a parting shot. Maybe I'll get him. Hey, there's JB number 2. So with the remaining enemy destroyers dead, we are now 3v3 in a decent position, but we do have to take care of this Nelson. And just looking at the health the health difference between him and our Congo, this is where our Congo makes the second of his 2 very, very wise decisions, and he decides to use the speed of the Congo. He realizes that a straight-up fight, even with me and the friendly New York, and everyone focusing the Nelson, he's probably going to die. And might as well die and take a enemy battleship with a significant health advantage with you. And so you can see in chat, he types out Bonsai and makes his intentions known. At this point, considering how fast the Congo is, the Nelson can do absolutely nothing except hope he can kill him before he gets within range. Again, looking at the difference in health, I keep putting fire on the Nelson just in case. There we go. Just in case our Congo didn't have enough HP for the Ram to kill the Nelson. But he did, and now we are down to 2v2. So me and the New York against an enemy Congo and an enemy New York. Now, at this point, I started to turn to try to get all my guns on the Congo, but I was a little bit afraid. I didn't know where the New York was initially, and I didn't want to show him a full broadside. Once he pops up and I realize I have a decent angle, I stop turning and I start flipping around the other way. And I know it means that it's going to be an extra few seconds before I can get guns on either of these targets, but I know that both the guns are coming from that direction, and with both of them looking at me, again, priority target, not typical for me on a battleship, but it came in extremely useful in this match. So I start putting fire on the Congo. Now at this point, I take a quick glance at our New York to see what his HP is like, and I do that a couple of times. I realize with the points completely tied, and the ships completely tied, that it is absolutely paramount that we don't just run from our Capt. Now, if the enemy Congo in particular, because as everyone knows, New York ain't exactly the fastest battleship in the world, the Congo is more of a threat, and he seems to be pushing hard for getting into our Capt. And with things the way they are right now, if everything stayed the same, and the Congo was able to get his nose into our Capt, we would lose. That would suspend our points, and we would no longer be tied. And if, you know, everyone lived, no one died, all that type of stuff, we would end up losing on points. So it became very important to me to try and keep an angle, but not go into full kite mode. We needed to defend against the push. And I know he's coming around the island. So far I've been really lucky with the damage I've taken, and there he is. And when I call out to our New York that it is imperative for us to focus down this Congo. Now he gets a really juicy AP hit on me there, and I didn't want to take it, but you know, both of us were near full health, and what I was hoping at the very least was to trade out, maybe come out on top, the slight HP advantage here. And here I begin to do something that I like to do in a lot of fire starters, but in particular the British battleship line too, where I am alternating my salvos. So not as nice of an AP hit as I'd like. You definitely can hit the Congo Citadel if with a well-placed shot, but that one wasn't quite there, so it flipped back to HE. And with this one, so part of my thinking is, bam, alright, that was huge. Our New York did get a nice, looks like at least one Citadel hit on it. What I was hoping with switching back to HE was that I would encourage the Congo to continue showing side and not kind of turn in and show angle. So instead of swapping back and forth on that one, I go one more salvo with the HE. He gets another decent hit. I'm giving him a little more side than might be wise, but I'm hoping that the combined firepower of me and our New York will be enough to take him down without me suffering too much. And as you can see, he's nearly dead, and I've only lost about half. So far so good with the plan. I set another permafire, but obviously he's got to heal, so I know my fire won't be what secures the Kraken for me. And our New York puts one final salvo. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So that was the primary threat to our Cap. Not only that, but it gave us a nice 100-point lead. That doesn't mean that all is well and good, though. This enemy New York now is near full HP, and I'm down to half. Throw one AP volley. I do get my heal back up. Now there. Very questionable move on my part, and you will see just how questionable the move was, where not so much the insta-repair on the fire, or no, that was it, the insta-repair on the fire. The heal I needed to retain as much health as I could, but the insta-repair on one fire. Now I did that hoping he wasn't going to do what he's clearly doing, which is firing HE at me. And he obviously got sick and tired of slinging AP and decided that HE was the way to go. And that put me in pretty dire straits here. So I now, because of my repairing one fire, I am now burning with two fires, and I can do nothing about it, and both my heal and repair are still on cooldown, which this is where I started to really hold my breath, because it's eating away. I'm looking at all my timers, still trying to do as much damage as I possibly can, because at this point I kind of feel like I might be dead. Fortunately, the fires go out, but I know he's still looking at me, and it'll only take one more solid HE salvo. Here it comes, holding the breath. Yeah, okay. So he set the fire, he did some damage. I'm burning. I got seconds left. There's the repair. So I put out the fire. Come on, heal. Come on, heal. Come on, heal. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Alright. Was down to a couple hundred HP. And I get that extra repair and the heal off. Now it does come down to he's angled enough where at least at this point, man, he gets another fire. But fortunately with my heal, that shouldn't be enough to kill me. Thankfully, he only had his front two turrets to shoot at me with. So I, again, got a little bit lucky on that one. And I am able to get another salvo. Let's see what we can do here. Yeah, there's another fire. That will help. And now here, some more fortune. That salvo could have been much, much better for him. And it ended up not being. Now, I had turned and gotten myself angled so that at the very least I was showing a small profile. He missed with most of his shots. He's burning down. Can I secure the Kraken? It's going to come down to this final salvo. Now, will he get me? Get the Kraken. He gets me. But I was very, very content with that end result. We definitely turned what could have easily been a slaughtering by the other team into a win, and I do feel like my spidey sense, my instincts in that game really served me well throughout. So I hope you all enjoyed. You get a quick look at the post-battle results here. Did fairly well for myself, especially in a ship that I detest, though slightly less now after that game. Thank you all, if you're watching this, for being patient over the last few months. I'm hoping to get posting a little more regularly, but until next time, this is Captain Happy, signing off.